Hello everybody and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sport. And both the All Blacks as well as the Pumas have announced their teams for their clash on Sunday, which will be a bit of a curtain raiser ahead of the Springboks clash against the Wallabies. Now this time last year, Argentina went over and beat the All Blacks over in New Zealand. So it's quite a lot of expectations, and it's a pretty strong Argentina side, whilst New Zealand have rotated, even with some of the players that do have missing. So whilst obviously, the All Blacks still walk into the side, and onto the game with a very strong side, there might be a couple of players that the Argentine times might be able to sort of expose. And I don't think we really see in the Argentina that we've sort of come to know in those first two games against South Africa. Maybe the second game more to a certain degree where they did start playing better and they started sort of being able to get through the South African defense. But we haven't quite seen that sort of that iconic sort of the passion that Argentina come with, and that flair. Discipline has always been a bit of an issue for Argentina, but was very much so the case in those first two tests. But, I think if there's one game where they can get themselves up, it often is a game against New Zealand. So whilst the All Blacks do walk in as sort of overriding favourites, and they do have a very, very good side named for this weekend, hopefully we'll see a better performance from Argentina and they can try and make things a little bit more competitive. Because, a year ago we saw a masterclass from Argentina with some massive performances from the likes of Pablo Montero, who was quite quiet, I thought, in the Springbok game. So let's hope that it's a much better game than what we've seen in previous occasions, stuff like that. Let's hope that we can see the Rugby Championship get a little bit closer because, apart from that second Springbok game, the Breslau Cup games were close at times, but New Zealand were pretty comfortable throughout all three. And South Africa, whilst they didn't play particularly well in the second test against Argentina, haven't really been threatened too much thus far. So we can hope that we're in for a bit of a better spectacle. Before we do look at the two teams, please do smash like on the video, subscribe to the channel as well. As you've probably seen before, that we have launched our Forever Sports store, so you can go and check shop.foreversports.net and check out the full range of Forever Sports merchandise, fan tees, and all that over there. Do go and give it a look. So in terms of the teams, and we'll start with the All Blacks, who have got a new captain. In the likes of Brodie Retallick. So no Sam Whitelock, although he is expected to travel to Australia where he will face a quarantine period but might be available for that second test against the Springboks in October. If not, maybe depending on when he's going over, potentially making that first test as well. So Brodie Retallick will take over the captaincy. I think he becomes the 71st All Blacks captain. And it's an all-Barrett affair with all three Barretts finding themselves in the starting lineup. But there has been a couple of players who are rotated. And as you can see, it's definitely not your sort of first string All Blacks side, despite the ridiculous amount of quality that is in and around there. So starting from 1 through to 15, Carl Tuano Koafe will start the best moustache in rugby, and he gets a start in the number 1 jersey. Asafo Amoyo gets a start at hooker, and then we've got Nepo Lualala at tight head. The two second rowers will be Brodie Retallick, who gets partnered with Scott Barrett. We've seen the Barretts coming off, all three of them, in fact, coming off the bench more in the sort of last couple of games. But they all three will start. Beauden Barrett, Jordie Barrett. Obviously, Jordie Barrett having his red card rescinded and is available, and Beauden Barrett back in the number 10. But the loose trio will see Akira Awani, Dalton Papili, and Luke Jacobson gets a chance at the back of the scrum. And then TJ Perenara will be the man that will partner Beauden Barrett in that halfback combination. George Bridge has a lot of pace and very, very good finisher, is in the number 11 jumper. David Havili continues in the number 12. Anton Leonard-Brown in the 13. Sevi Reece switches to number 14 to what we've seen a couple of times. And then we've got Jordie Barrett in the fullback jersey. After he was with, I'm interested in what you guys think. I think that he shouldn't have had his red card rescinded given the punishment that has been dealt out to other players in the past for similar infringements. But off the bench for the All Blacks, the likes of Samisoni Tokugawa, Joe Moody makes his big return, as well as Tyrell Lomax as the front row. Very good to see Joe Moody back in the colours of, the black colours of the All Blacks, I suppose. Lots and lots of experience from Joe Moody. He's a class operator. He's 32 years old, but we know when it comes to New Zealand props that they really do just mature with age. So expect a big performance from him. Then Tupou Vaa'i, Ethan Blackadder will cover the rest of the scrum. Brad Weber on the bench. Damian McKenzie will cover well, I suppose a range number position between him and Rieko Ioane. They cover pretty much everything from 10 through to 15. You know, Damian McKenzie can slot in at fly half, at fullback. Ioane can slot in the centres, on the wing, obviously very comfortably. So very nice bench to bring on in the likes of Weber, McKenzie, and Ione. So, yeah, I think it should be quite a good New Zealand side. I don't think they'll. I don't see them losing, to be honest. But look, this is the Argentina side that will try and do something special once again. Julio Montoya will lead the side at hooker as he's been doing all year. Then, in terms of the team 1 through to 15, Facundo Gagene in the front row is joined by Santiago Medrano. Then the 2 second rows will be Guido Petti and Matias Alemano, so which sees Thomas Lamborghini drop down to the bench. And then the loose trio, it's a pretty settled loose trio in the likes of Pablo Matera, Marcus Kramer, and Rodrigo Bruni. Those three players will have to have very big games this weekend if they are to try and do something special up against New Zealand. The halfback combination will be Gonzalo Bertrano, and Nicolas Sanchez comes back into the side after getting a game off against the Springboks in that second game. But the big news for Argentina is Santiago Cordero will start in the 11 jersey. We know exactly how devastating a finisher Cordero is, and he will be a huge boost. If he plays well this weekend, give him a bit of space, give him a half gap, he'll take it, he'll punish you. And the big thing about Argentina is can they give him the space out wide to really try and punish the All Blacks. The centre pairing, Matias Moroni comes in at outside centre. He will partner Geronimo de la Fuente. Chukabaris has dropped down to the bench. Bautista Dalgai, number 14 jumper, and then Jean Cruz Malia will be the fullback for Argentina. Off the bench, we will see the likes of Facundo Bosch, Carlos Muzio, and Enrique Perotto. Thomas Avenini, Juan-Martin Gonzalez Samso, and then the backline replacements for Argentina will be Gonzalo Garcia, Santiago Chukabares, and then the ever-present Emiliano Boffelli. So it's a lot of good players for this Argentina side, and it is a bit of a change in the guard. You know, there's quite a few players that some people haven't maybe seen that much of in the last couple of years because there have been some big names who have sort of moved on, but it's a very good Argentina side. And there's one thing we know about Argentina is that the bigger the occasion, the better they usually play. So with fans, I think that'll help them quite a lot. I think that they'll feed off that energy. And whilst I don't expect them to go and do anything against the All Blacks, hopefully they can just make things quite competitive and hopefully make a decent game of it. But I do think the All Blacks should have no issues. Let me know what your score predictions are down in the comments below. Do smash like on the video. Do subscribe to the channel as well. Check out our store, shop.foreversports.net. We'll be live for this game. Lakanya will be taking you through it as a bit of a curtain raiser before I'll be with you guys for Springboks versus Australia. Please do smash like on the video. Subscribe to the channel. My name is Steven. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll chat to you soon.